Welcome back. Today we're going to show you a new application we've had in the works. It's a teacher evaluation system based upon the new Common Core standards. This is an application that was based upon organization out of Brooklyn called TNTP.org. And they are doing education reform. They have simplified the Common Core Rubric, and so we've taken that and modeled an application based upon it. It's very expandable, it's very fast, and it's actually a system that can be easily changed into just about any kind of an evaluation system, just by changing some of the terminology. And you're going to see some unique features we've been able to do with light switch and jQuery, and it's going to show you what you can do with light switch with a little imagination. So this is a multi-tenant application, meaning there's a separation between different entities, whether it's districts, neighborhoods. You're able to decide how you want to do this. Right now I'm at a default login, which is pretty generic. I can put a simple parameter on the URL, and now I've got it branded for a particular district. It could be a neighborhood. And now we're going, again, branding for a different organization. So let's just go ahead and we're just going to go ahead with default. I'm going to log in as a global administrator, which means I will have access to all tenants and being able to choose which one. And you'll see the power behind this very shortly. So let's log in. Right away you'll see we're using the new tile system, and there's it may seem kind of busy, but we'll just talk about a little bit about it. As you see up here in the upper left, we're customizing the icon. We're using 2 levels for the header, and you'll see down here since we're a global admin, we're able to do add tiles, edit the tiles, refresh the tiles. And as you see here, when it comes to multi-tenant, if I've been assigned to multi-districts, I'll have this button here. And so standard stuff, log out on the upper right. And so first tile is observations. This tile is used for doing teacher observations, and we'll get into that. Teachers, pretty explanatory, but we'll show you that. Rubrics, fancy name for a spreadsheet, but we've changed that into very usable. Schools, we'll show you that. Types of schools, we'll explain what that in. Districts, which can be anything. The analytics side, everybody wants analytics, charts, reports. Imports, no system would be complete if you didn't give the end user a method of getting data into the system. And that's going to be schools, it's going to be teachers, and the all-important rubrics, because rubrics are the key here, which is again just a fancy word for a spreadsheet. And of course our own security, which is users and districts and such. So let me just show you real quick how the multi-tenancy works. As you see, I'm in here as Seattle School District. The system will remember the last tenant you were in and default to that. So let's click on the district button, and as you see, I'm actually assigned to 2 districts. Right now, Seattle School District is active. I can easily change it to Shoreline, press save, and you'll see I'm now Shoreline. And as I'll show you later, all the data will be specific to Shoreline School District. Let's go on back to Seattle. So let's go, let's just show you the basics right now. Let's go into security. As you see, some of this will look pretty familiar. Users. Here's our users. Standard stuff you've seen in our applications before. Nothing new here. Boom, boom, boom. Right, you're all familiar with that. Editing and adding roles, user roles, security administration. We're able to add permissions based upon our picker here, which is unique that we offer. And I'm sure a lot of you are incorporating that. And here's the districts. Seattle School District, Shoreline School District. Pretty basic stuff here, what the district's about, what the actual users are within the district. So we've got admins, observers, a guest, that type of stuff. We can easily add a user, and we're going to pick from our master user list, okay, and we're able to assign the role for a user, which comes up later. We're actually also able to get them down to the school level and give them a role. Are they a teacher or administrator? So we're able to get pretty granular here on the permission settings for a district. So that's districts. We're going to be going by this stuff pretty quick because there's a lot to cover, short amount of time. So as I mentioned about imports, we're able to import spreadsheets pretty easily. And this particular one is a rubric. And I'll just pull it up. You're able to select the type, what the first data row is. Let's actually add one. So there's a couple of different import types: schools, teachers, and rubrics. And based upon that, let's say you're going to do a school. Things change a little bit. If it's a teacher, they're not assigned a school. And rubrics. And you're able to select a type of school: elementary, K through 5. These are all user defined. Okay, and what is the first row of data? And the standard browse and file name. Pretty explanatory. In another video, I'll actually go through the process of adding files and hitting the process button and importing the data. And it didn't, if there's a time date stamp of when it was imported, it actually won't import those. But with that said, you're able to queue up a whole bunch of imports and then kick them off. And it's all done asynchronously. It's pretty cool. Okay, so I believe we saw district. Since I'm an admin, I get to see everything, and later on we'll show you what happens when you're not an admin. School types, this is where you're able to define what type of schools you have. Like here in Seattle, we have elementaries K through 5, elementaries K through 8, standard middle school, standard high school. So here is where we assigned what grade levels are with that school and what subjects. What I'll show you here on grades, let's say we put these in wrong and we need to do some changing around. As you see right here, this is a button for sorting. So sorting grades, when you see the up and down arrows, that's for sort. So right away, we'll click that. First of all, you'll see the buttons borders turn green. And the list items turn green. Now you're able to drag and drop them anywhere you want. And boom, there you go. Turn the sort off. You're good to go. And this is K through 5, so we'll come back to that. Again, you see the sort button here. Pretty cool. So let's go fix this though, because kindergarten's before, and first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, school types, pretty easy concept. And schools, again, pretty easy. We allow you to select what type of school you want to look at. K through 8, 6 through 8, high schools, and gives you some information. Nice thing about this application, a guest can come in and they can see all this public data that's available. So it's also a resource tool for the general public. So that's a byproduct of all this. Of course, over here you've got the search for schools. Click it, you get the search button, and we'll do a BAL, Ballard. That's where I am right now, Ballard, Washington. So that was schools. Teachers, as you'll see, pretty explanatory. You know, first name, last name, and observations we'll get into later. The thing about teachers, and of course a lot of this is privacy, and so we've got to limit the amount of data that's in there. I don't know if there's much more data that you'd want to cover in this type of application. So that's teachers. Pretty quick and dirty. All right, so let's talk about rubrics. Rubrics, again, it's a spreadsheet. It's a way to measure. And the way this system was designed was rubrics never go away. Once you have an observation done against a rubric, you can't really delete it because you want to save those observations and have the correlation back to it. Again, we default the school type to K through 5 for the rubrics. K through 8, here's their rubric. And it might be different, obviously, depending upon what grade level you are. They may have a different type of rubric for you. And so that means school type can actually be granular. You can make it elementary school grade 1 and have a certain rubric. So let's go just K through 5. Currently, we've got an active one for 2015. Only one rubric can be active at a time. That's pretty standard stuff, I mean, for this type of thing. So as you see, you know, there's a name, description, school year, is it active? And the way we force things so that things don't get messed up too bad. If you want to edit these details, you have to come down here to Details and the Edit button. And then at that point, if you have permissions, obviously that button won't be there if you don't have permissions, you can decide and change things as you so choose. Rubrics are based upon performance areas. So the TNTP rubric is based upon these 4 major areas. And again, they're just buckets. Within these buckets, well, before I go further, as you see, I've got this little sort. Works here too. All over the place. Let's go ahead and go look at the culture of learning, which is a performance area. And again, we got details, you know, the name of the area. The major question that should be answered about this area. The meat of this is over here in levels. And a level is a proficiency level that the teacher must meet. And on this side, as you see, I'll click and you get descriptors of, if you get an ineffective, here's what that means. You know, if you're a minimally effective, here's the criteria. So this allows the observer to make decisions if he thinks, well, is this somebody that meets this set of criteria in order to get a skillful. Okay. As you see, common stuff here, we can edit the level. We can sort levels and descriptors all on the same screen. Let's go ahead and say we can do that. At the same time, if we wanted to, we can go ahead and move them around independently. And they stay active. If we went here, came back, they're still active. As you see, green is a great color. Okay, let's change that back. And so let's go edit a level. And this will show you where you go up. Level is assigned a value, obviously, in order to get get metrics, and in order to judge, everything's a value. Here we can change this to whatever we want. Color can be, if you want it to be a standard web color. So it's pretty easy. I chose not to do a color picker, but you easily could. So as you see, the descriptors here of what the culture of learning ineffective means. Click on it, you can actually edit that value. Pretty standard stuff. Skill areas. Skill areas are used for, how can you say, for what you're going to work on. What do they need working on? And this is an area maintaining high behavior expectations. Which one of these will the teacher probably need help on? And it's the same model. You can sort them both sides independently or not. You can edit an area, and you can edit its text, its skill area. Any questions? Oh, no questions. Okay, let's move on. So that's a rubric. They're all, consistency is the name of the game in line of business apps. I'm sure most of you know that. Common way of working with a system. Alright, so that's rubrics. We saw teachers, we saw observations. Let's just, before we jump into observations, let's look at analytics. Can't really show you the reports yet. Privacy and all. Let's look at a chart. So the charts are based upon, right now, we're going to show you by a teacher. And we're going to show, boom, for this particular teacher, here's their performance areas and how they've done. You know, we can only see if we wanted to see this particular teacher on a K through 5, or are they K through 8. Obviously there's none here. And let's say, let's go to this guy, and they're able to drill down and decide what they want to look at. Obviously, if there's a whole bunch of observations, this chart would get really busy. But that's your basic, you know, standard, looking at some KPIs. But you notice this is working very easily in light switch. Piece of cake, it's responsive. It just works. And this is a chart using Kendo UI. Alright, so let's go now to the heart of the application. By the way, TESS, this is TESS. TESS is Teacher Evaluation System. And that's, you know, everybody needs an acronym. So let's go look at observations. Observations are all about evaluating teachers in the classroom on a tablet or phone, for that matter. This application works just fine on an iPhone, Android, works great on a tablet. Even Windows phones, for those of us that still have those. So let's go look at an observation. This particular person, what you'll notice is certain things cannot be changed once a record has been created. And all of the information on this screen, on this details, cannot be changed for data integrity. When it was observed, the teacher, the school, but note that the UI looks the same. These are read-only, and yet they're a consistent UI, and that was key on this application. So let's go look at a rating. So this particular teacher, somebody would come in and do a rating on them, and you know, they would decide, you know, did they meet this? Were they developing, proficient? Let's go ahead and change them to minimally effective, and as you see, it's changing dynamically. Boom. And obviously, if an observer was not familiar with the rubric, they would go through the descriptors and decide, does this match? And off they go until the rubric is done. Comments. Observer can make comments. This was a good event. Teacher, if so desired. I don't think the observer was objective. And here's where you see the skills that need work on. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. You see the remove that skill pops up. Yeah, we want to remove it. Let's go ahead and decide we want to pick up an area, and it was this area, And the skill area was thinking skills. And let's select providing support. Click that. And you can keep adding. You can add till it's dark. I don't think the teacher would be very happy with you, but you can. Okay, save it, done. Easy, quick. Now, let's go ahead and do a new observation. As you see, they're all ready. One thing, if you notice, you got the plus signs for lookup over here. Now look over here, they're not here. And that's by design. But it's the same UI, same screen. We did not have to do any additional development. So here we go. And if you try and go to another tab, no thank you. Let's go ahead, what is today? April, boom. And let's pick a teacher. Let's do DeMarcus. And what school? We're going to say these are high schoolers, and we're going to do Ballard. And what grade level? Notice that the grade level matches what school. So if we came up and said this is going to be an elementary K through 5, Adams, we will only get grades associated with that school. Can't screw that up very badly. So let's do Ballard again, and we're going to do 11th grade. Subjects also go with the school type that you saw there. So obviously let's do calculus. Our tabs will now become active. So we're going to as if we're in the classroom now, student engagement, we're going to give this guy a developing essential content. He did pretty good. He met this criteria with our level picker. Academic ownership, very few. I don't think he was very effective. And how did he do on demonstration of learning? So right there, the ratings have been done. Probably no comments. The observer at this point would decide what area does he really need worked on. I think we decided demonstration of learning. And we're going to select that one. And we're good to go. The observation is done, just like that. Now you notice we cannot change the data pertaining to this observation. We can delete it, and we can change the ratings and the comments, but we cannot delete the edit the observation particulars. So they can't change the teacher name. You know, that stuff just can't change. Data integrity. So there you go. That's from the point of view of a super admin that I logged in as. What I'd like to do is show you the multi-tenancy. You saw all the observation stuff. Let's go over to Shoreline. And no observations yet. Do we have any teachers? No teachers. Do we have any rubrics? No rubrics. So it's not been populated yet. Who do we have in security? Let's see what kind of users. That's global. Okay, districts. Since we're going to look at Shoreline, what users have been added. So there you go. I know I'm going through this kind of quick. So let's go back to Seattle. What I'm going to do now is, so I logged in as a big user. So let's log in now as an observer. And you'll see a very different experience. One thing to note, they can only see observations that they have done themselves. And that's by design. They can't change, they can only change what they've done and see what they've done. Okay. Teachers, they can see them. They can't edit teacher details. Okay. And same way with rubrics. They can go through, they can't edit a rubric, but they can certainly go through and look at the rubric. And this is also for the general public. They can come in here and take a look at rubrics and see what the teachers are getting rated by. Okay, so that's, again, note that this is the same screens. Buttons have changed and things are read-only. So pretty powerful. Also, buttons on the bottom have gone away. You can only do what your permissions allow you to do. Schools, notice these are read-only. Buttons change here. No delete. You can only view. Same way with school types. You can come in here, look at what grades are assigned and the subjects. District, same deal. But the general public can come in and use this as a resource to look up information about the district. Who the contact is, the phone numbers, emails, addresses, the whole works. And it's all public knowledge. So it's not like we're showing anything that's private when it comes to this stuff. This is all in the public domain. Analytics. They can see analytics. But notice, they can only see the analytics that they've done when it comes to an observer. They can't see the entire analytics on a teacher. Okay, so that's that in the way of an observer. Let's go Seattle admin. Seattle, wonder what that was. See what the account is. Seattle District Admin. Okay. Gotta love live. Okay. So the admin obviously can't see the security side, but they can do imports as they are in charge of the rubrics. They can see the analytics. They can edit district data for their district only. School types, they can edit those also. Schools, same way. They can edit, delete. They're the admin for the school. I mean for the district. So there you go. Super user, and the super user can see all observations. They can search. And looks like my search is broken. You gotta love live. I don't edit these things, so we'll fix it. Take a look, and that's good to see. So there you go. You have just seen tests in a very short amount of time, teacher evaluation system based upon the rubrics from TNTP.org. But as I can show in later videos, or if anyone's interested, how it's infinitely expandable, and you can actually use this in any type of a environment for evaluations, whether at corporate, employees from anywhere. It's just an employee evaluation system, but you know, EES just doesn't sound very good. Test sounds good. Okay, well, thanks for sticking with me. I hope it was worth your while. It was quick. While we're here, though, let's see if I can bring up an iPad. There we go. Let's see it work. Okay, works just fine on iPads. And there you go. It's pretty slick actually when it's on a tablet. So I highly encourage that if you get an opportunity to run this app, that you do so. Let's go ahead and go to an iPhone. Okay, let's go ahead and rotate it. You notice the tiles flow very well into the iPhone world. It's pretty cool. And let's look at an observation. And if they so chose, they could do their observation on an iPhone. I don't know why you'd want to, but they can certainly do it, and that was one of the keys. But the beauty of it is with light switch, it's out of the box. And especially with the tool set of LS wires and the core project, you're able to do this fairly simple. So there you go. I appreciate you stopping by. Have a good day.